Hey everybody, I said I'd do a bit of a follow-up on the syrup. If you come on over here in the pot and have a look, you'll see that we're getting down to our last boiling. Now, this doesn't look like much in the pot. I don't know how many quart pot that would be, but it must be a, I don't know, 20-liter pot? I don't know if it'd be that or not. Probably, no, not quite that much, because, well, probably a 16-quart pot. This represents probably at least 7 to 8 of these potfuls. What I do when I'm boiling down my syrup, or the sap, is I'll fill this pot up probably 3 to 4 times. I'll fill it up and I'll let it boil down so there's only an inch or two in the bottom, not too thin because you don't want to take the chance of burning it. And I'll fill it back up just with sap again, and I'll let that boil down probably twice. And then when I fill it up the 3rd time, I'll take it and I'll filter it, and then let that boil down 4 times till I have a couple inches in the bottom. And then I'll take that sap, it's starting to really get some color and some darkness to it by then, and what I'll do is I'll take that sap and I'll store it just in a jug in the fridge, and then I'll repeat the same process. So this here that I have in the pot represents probably 7 to 8 of these potfuls of sap that I've boiled down so far. Now, we don't set up an outside stove or anything. We already use the wood stove here for cooking and for heat in the winter time. So with us it's easy because we already have the stove going anyway, so we're just using it to put the pot on and boil it down. Sometimes in the winter time we'll put the pot on and just put water on it for humidity in the house. So as long as you don't boil a whole lot, I think it's okay. So what I did there is once I had the 2 different batches collected, I poured them together, and you can see what's in the bottom of this pot now, and I'm doing the last finishing. And what I do for the last finishing, this has already been filtered. Oh, and Dale, I had mentioned to you that about a coffee filter for filtering. From one year to the next you forget stuff, but we do use a cloth for filtering out the big pieces first, and then we'll use a coffee filter as a secondary filter, and it picks up all the fine stuff. If you just use a coffee filter, it clogs up too quick and it's too slow filtering through. Now, if you can see, we got a pretty good fire on the stove right now, and you can see this here starting to foam as it gets more syrupy and the sugar content gets higher. It'll start to foam a little. Now, as that foam, if this foam is building up the sides of the pot too much, what'll happen is the foam will actually burn on the side of your pot, and you'll get a caramel and you get a burnt flavor into your sap. So you don't want too much of that foam. So all this is just a drop of cream, and if you watch this, you put a drop of cream in, and that'll help take that foam down. You can see how the foam's disappearing, and it goes right back to the bubbling syrup again. So you can keep your temperature up, you can keep it bubbling, but the foam's not there. And a little drop of cream, you'll only have to do that a couple of times, and it'll let you still keep a good boil on. Now, once we don't boil ours down for temperature or any sort of sugar content, what we do is we want ours to look like syrup when it's fridge cold. So what I'll do is I'll just take a glass measuring cup, and I keep one of those in the fridge or even in the freezer. And when we go to test ours, the glass will be nice and cold. I'll take a little out, I'll put it in there, it'll cool the sap down quick, and then we're just going to pour it out. And if it looks like syrup and the consistency of syrup, and we got it to where we're happy, that's where we stop. And I wish I could let you taste this. If you can see the color is starting to come in that already. I wish you could taste that, because I don't know, unless most people have had maple syrup. Some people have had what they thought was maple syrup, which is a little bit of maple syrup and corn syrup mixed together. If that's what you had, you'll have no idea what this tastes like. But if you tried pure homemade maple syrup before, it is delicious. It's sugar out of your tree. I don't know how else to put it. So, If anybody has any questions, sorry about that, but when you get working with maple syrup, it's just finger looking good. And if anybody has any questions, ask away. I'm no expert by any means, but we just boil it. Oh, we'll end up probably almost 2 liters out of there time that's done boiling down. Doesn't look like much, but it's a pretty big pot. So ask away. And have a great evening, everybody.